Yes, somewhere just besides the nominee. Maybe in the other way, they should face the other way. Yes. Sergeant, the other way. Very well. Maybe for the purposes of clarification, I will be doing that in a few. Welcome to the County Assembly of Nyandarua. You are before the Committee on Finance and Economic Planning. And before we proceed, I think it is prudent to go as per the notice. And this is the notice convening the meeting today. This is Monday, the 24th day of February 2025. We have 3 agendas with us. Agenda number 1, that is prayers and preliminaries. Agenda number 2, adoption of the agenda. Agenda number 3, that is vetting of the chief officer, that is finance and economic planning. And agenda number 4, adjournment. And having done agenda number 1, I wish to confirm that we had already prayed, maybe at the preliminaries. I wish to request members that it is good, before we do anything else, we adopt the agenda of the meeting, so we can have a proposal for the adoption of the agenda. Yes, proposed by Honorable Juliana and County Member. Yes, seconder. Yes, seconded by my Vice Chair, that is the County Member from Engineer. Having done that, I wish to know that before the committee, whether we have the right person, and I do direct the Sergeant at arms to confirm through the original card, so that we can know that indeed the nominee before us is Frederick Irongo Gishohe. Yes, and I can confirm that before us is a Kenyan male adult by the name Frederick Irongo Gishohe, of ID number as indicated. And with that, I direct that our legal team to administer oath to the said nominee, so that after that we can go to introductions and start the exercise.
I, Frederick Irongo Gishohe, do swear that the information that I shall give before this committee is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Very well. Having done that, I think it is prudent we first of all know each other. Zachary Njeru, member for Nyakio from Kinangop constituency. I'm the chairperson, finance, economic planning and ICT.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Benson Kiari, Vice Chair of this committee.
Morning, everyone. Mwagikago is my name. Member from Nyandarua Central, Nyandarua constituency.
Wambugu Kigori, member to this committee.
Mohende Kariuki, member.
Juliana Mogure, member.
Koliado, member.
Unaboiza Kungu, I'm the chairman budget.
I'm Nancy Mothe, clerk attached to this committee.
Moses Kinywa, a legal counsel attached to the committee.
Faith Bushiri, health reporter. Faith Kamori, Sajina Times.
Kenya Shage, communication officer.
Regina Juguna, ICT officer.
Khalil Lewis, communication officer.
Then for the purposes of protocol, we start off at there, then we wind up with the nominee.
Chair, my name is Martin Gure Mwangi. Liaison.
Charity Rungo, the wife.
Samuel Chege, staff finance in charge of records.
Thank you, Chair. Frederick Kirongo, the nominee.
Very well, and thank you for accompanying the nominee. It is allowed, even in law, even for the members of public to accompany you during this exercise. So I wanted to clear that because it was raised by one of our members. And one of Frederick, what I would wish to inform you is first of all to congratulate you for making this far. And with you, you have a questionnaire that you were supposed to address, and I know you have addressed it accordingly. As we peruse your original documents, I can confirm I have them. As we peruse and confirm that indeed that is what you have provided, I will give you the opportunity to go through the questionnaire from number 1 to the last, answering the list questions, and then from there I will open a plenary to the members for any other question they may deem necessary during this exercise as we proceed. So welcome, tackle the questions from number 1 to the last as we peruse the documents. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Chair, honorable members. My name is Frederick Kirongo Lichoe. The position I should be nominated is Chief Officer Finance. I'm a male. My date of birth is 24th January 1987, born in Kalau town. I'm married. My phone number is 0704 500 519. Mobile phone number 0704 500 519. Email address fredgichuhi@gmail.com. ID number 25002849. PIN number 800427651HQ. Nationality I'm a Kenyan. Postal address is 550 Kalau. Town city is Kalau. Knowledge of languages, Kikuyu, Swahili, and English. Education, I'll just go direct to from 2020 to 2024, MBA Finance, Kenyatta University. 2011 to 2012, did certification in Information Communication Technology, powered by CASNEP. 2006 to 2010, Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness Management, University of Nairobi. 206 to 209, a CPA, Certified Public Accountant. Employment record in reverse chronological order. February 2022 to date, been a senior accountant with the Nyandarua County Government. May 2015 to Feb, that should be a typo, to 2022, I was employed as an NOMINEES accountant, County Government of Nyandarua. November 2013 to March 2015, I was a senior relationship officer, operations, Equity Bank Marsabit branch. October 2010 to October 2013, relationship officer, operations, Equity Bank Marsabit. Honors of awards, it's none. Professional association, I'm a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, member 9102. Memberships, I'm a life member of Nyandarua County Red Cross, Nyandarua branch. Any writings, published writings, none. Any political activities, none. Offices held in service rendered, whether compensated or not, in any political party elections committee. That's also chair, honorable members, is none. Have you ever been dismissed, others removed from office for contravention of provisions of Article 75 of the Constitution? No. Have you ever been adversely associated with practices that depict bias, favoritism, or nepotism in the discharge of public duties? None. Deferred income, future benefits? It's none. Outside commitment during service in office? It's none. Sources of income? My net salary, being a senior accountant, 659, 160. Rental income for last calendar year, it's 1,740,000. Farming, 986,000. Tax status, I have complied, and I've attached a copy of the tax compliance certificate. Statement of net worth, I'm worth 27 million. Potential conflict of interest, identify the family members of other persons, parties, categories of litigation of financial arrangements that are likely to present potential conflict of interest. When you first assume the position to which you have been nominated, explain how you would address any such conflict if it were to arise. And chair, in case a family member or other parties present potential conflict of interest, I'll declare the conflict, then withdraw from the process. I'll further advise the parties or family members to decline the award or any other outcome of the process. Explain how you would resolve any potential conflict of interest, including the procedure you will follow in determining these areas of concern. My answer, Chair, is, honorable members, is that I'll adhere to the PFM Act and the Public Procurement Disposal Act, and this will help resolve the potential conflict of interest. Any charity work donations that I've done, I donated last year about 20,000 to Red Cross. Have you ever been charged in a court of law in the last 3 years? If so, specify the nature of charge where the matter is ongoing, the present status of the matter where the matter is concluded, the judgment of the court or otherwise. Chair, I have not been charged in a court of law. Have you ever been adversely mentioned in an investigatory report, Parliament or Commission of Inquiry? And the answer is no. Have you any objection to the making of the inquiry presented by referees in the course of your consideration? The answer is no. My reference, Chair, first one is Joseph Wanjohi Wahome, Director of Finance, County Government of Nyandarua, of telephone number 0706 000 777. The second referee is Benson Kenywa, Business Growth and Development Manager, Equity Bank, 0722 99798. And the last referee chair is Dr. Daniel Makori, lecturer at Kenyatta University, of 0725 14 2276. Thank you.
Very well. That is well done. And over and above, if there is any query from your response, I think it will be addressed accordingly. And before I open the plenary, your documents are in order. And obviously it is purported that if you studied at secondary school, obviously you were at primary school, but we cannot get your primary school certificate. So maybe in the course of the day, for the purposes of compliance, I think it is prudent for a copy to be provided. And that will be very much in order. I want to open a plenary, and I wish to give preference to two members, that is the chairperson budget, and member for Kathanje. And I propose that we go this way. Let the member ask all the questions, note them down, so that you can prepare for a response. Maybe after 3 or 4 members, you will get the opportunity for a response. And with that, I want to start with the chairperson budget and member for Wajoi, Honorable Isaac. And I beg that this might be forwarded over there.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Irongo and the team.
Good morning.
Once again, I'm Isaac Kongo, Chairman Budget. And thank you, Chairman Finance, for giving me this opportunity. I want you to insist on the primary certificate. I was looking at the certificate for the secondary school, and this guy got an A minus. You know, he might have skipped. You know, not in the era, not many people could get A minuses. Anyway, I want to say that I will not have a specific question to ask. I am leaving because I have another engagement that I have to attend, but I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to congratulate you for emerging as the winner after the interview by the board. I've looked at the report, and I want to wish you well. I had my own questions, and I think if I ask those questions at this level, it might preempt some of the discussion that will come later. So I have given the chairman my questions, which we will ask later, and I know I will be able to follow through the report and also through the answer. But chairman, in the midst of the 2 questions that I gave, I want to add 3, and I don't want him to reply. He will reply later. I am happy that you are an insider. Good. Today we are vetting you to be a chief officer, but you are not coming from the outside. You have been in the system of the Nyandarua County government, I think since 2013. That is since 2015. So you understand the operations of the county government, and more specifically Nyandarua County government. Maybe I would like later, as you retire, and even as you come to the conclusion of this vetting, to tell these members how you will be able to navigate, knowing that sometimes you have been a junior officer, and now you have become a senior. Some of your bosses now will be coming to you. And I know you understand what I'm saying. Some of the people who you are answerable to, now they will be answerable to you. How are you going to navigate those staff politics to be able to be successful and to deliver as a chief officer? Don't reply, I'll get the answer when I come back. Thank you.
Yes, we can proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Irongo and your team.
Good morning.
Yeah, as I said, my name is Kuriado. I'm the member elected Kathanje. To the extension, I'm a member of this Finance and ICT Committee. I want to start by congratulating you for having reached this juncture. I, being an alumni of Kenyatta University, where I did my bachelor degree in economics and finance. Now that that's where you have also done your masters. So we are both alumni of Kenyatta University. And we can tell this committee that is an international university. So, Mr. Irongo, you being the nominee for the Chief Officer Finance. Now that we are heading for the supplementary budget, how will you address the issue of pending bills? Thank you.
Very well. Then we go to member for North Kinago.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I must admit that Irungu is my friend, but having said that, it doesn't mean that I have to ask you questions. So, Chair, allow me to ask Mr. Frederick 2 questions. The first question is in relation to the Public Service Board. Were you interviewed? And when and where was the interview done? Number 2, you have been nominated for the position of the Chief Officer, Finance in Nyandarua County Government. Which law establishes this position?
Very well. We can now go to Council Member from Magumu, Honorable Moed Kanu.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Karibu Bwana Irongo. Asante sana. And congratulations for having gone up to where you are now. Maybe allow me to ask you like 4 questions. Number 1, why did you apply for this position? The motivation behind you applying. Then you have been an employee since 2015. Maybe you can highlight a couple of the areas that you have had issues with as an employee of the county government of Nyandarua. I then also want to ask you, the qualification for this position demands that you must have a relevant degree. Now I'm looking at your bachelor's, and it's, where was it? It's in agribusiness. Do you feel that qualifies as a relevant degree appertaining to this position? Number 4, in your current position, you are in charge of financial reporting. If you look at the issues that the Auditor General has with us as the county government of Nyandarua, is the failure in the Department of Financial Reporting, especially in provision of documents and other statutory requirements. What is your role there, and how do you explain that? Finally, you are a member of the implementation committee of the industrial park, the KIPES project in Jambini. Maybe if you would give us a progress report on where we are now.
Very well. I now wish to invite Honorable Juliana so that we can first of all have the response. Yes, Honorable Juliana. Pass over the mic.
Thank you so much, Chair. I first want to congratulate you for getting this far with this process, and also for your experience in finance. The issue of your degree notwithstanding, you have quite a commendable experience in finance, and that is good for the county and for this committee going forward. If you get the job, Chair, I have no interest. I have never met the nominee, but his experience is something to inform the future. So I have a few questions to ask you. My first question is on the finance regulation of 2015 in respect to payment of pending bills. And because you have been in the system and specifically in the finance department, I would appreciate if you tell the committee if you have so far compiled the pending bills to be prioritized for this financial year and the next financial year. Because according to COB, they should be a priority in the first charge. And if not, maybe you can tell us why. And then the second question would be to try and explain to this committee how you intend to help with the revenue issue, sealing the loopholes, and trying to bring policies or formulas on how to increase it. And also tell us how the department we have looked at an auditor's report that has just come out. I know you have heard of it. How you are able to spend close to 500 million without a supplementary budget. And maybe why we appear number last, Chair, on absorption of the budget. Because you have been there, how you intend to improve that, and maybe you can highlight a few of the challenges that you have faced in the maybe recent, past for us to be at that level. Because looking at your paperwork, and you have been in finance together with a very experienced gentleman, Mr. Wahome, who is the Director of Finance, it beats logic how we are at that point as a county. So I would love you to explain that keenly. Thank you.
Very well. Mr. Irungu, I now wish to give you the floor to address the raised concerns. Some of them might seem to be having a very wide scope, but it is because you have been in the system. So try as much as possible from your knowledge and from your expertise to tackle them, so that now we can go to the second round and wind up.
Thank you, Chair. I think I'll start with the first question by Honorable Isaac Pango. The question was that being a junior, how I would handle the staff politics of the day. And it's true, something that could be head foreseen, but I'm lucky enough, Chair. I have very good and supportive team. I think they actually are the people who motivated me to apply for this post. They understand my abilities. So I think so far I've also been holding that office for the last, I think, 1 month while the acting chief was on leave. And I think the support I've received is commendable. I have no doubt that I received much support from the colleagues. Again, once if I'm approved, I know again you also get the powers, so there will be management of such in case insubordination arises. The question on Honorable Thuo on pending bills. I think it was on the how we intend to bring about the pending bills in the upcoming supplementary budget. You understand we had a closing balance of close to the monies we did not get in June, and I think the whole amount will be prioritized on pending bills. I think that, of course, the best logic is to have those pending bills, the earlier pending bills, given a priorities. But I think from where I sit, the decision, considering the limited resources, I think that decision, if I'm asked, I would say that we allocate funds for pending bills for as early as 2014, but I think I'm limited to just the advisory chair. I think on
Chair.
the...
Sorry. Am I allowed to?
Yes, of course.
In case I forget, if you're asked, you said if I am asked and I am limited to advisory, and you realize you'll be the AIE holder if you get the job.
Yes.
So you are expected to exercise, actually you're expected to implement the Finance Management Act. Yeah, you're not waiting for someone to really tell you what to do. So I think that is something I would love to hear you clarify.
If I got the query by Honorable Thuo, it was on how we intend to improve the pending bills in the upcoming supplementary budget. And I think there's a substantive chief officer under economic planning who is majorly involved in preparation of the budget. We majorly, as finance, we give our input. There's also a more bigger process in preparation of our supplementary budget. But I think it's a concern with COB that we give priority to pending bills as a first charge in the budget. And it's a concern that also that the House will also consider, because the House also has at stake in preparation of the budget, that they'll also consider pending bills as a first charge in allocation of pending bills, especially for the funds that were not spent. Thank you. If I might have answered, yeah.
Very well, and in furtherance to that, I think the biggest problem has been now the increasing pending bills. We have not been able to address the issue of the historical pending bills. And when we do budget beyond our means, at the end of the day, at the closure of each financial year, those are other pending bills. So as much as we want to address the issue of the historical pending bills, we should put in our mind that how do we now deal with the issue of the increasing bills, so that now we can be able to say that we have a pending bill of 1.7 billion this financial year, without now having new pending bills. We will provide this amount of money. So by the time we are going to the third or fourth financial year, at least we will be in a position now to have done with the pending bills. That is the way to go. Proceed. Yes.
Just kindly, they are pending bills. Banairongo, what will you do as the chief officer to help that local person that has no connection to the offices to get their pending bills paid? You have said that you are a supervisor, you are just given an advisory role. But what measures can you put in place so that that person who is owed 300,000 shillings and the person that is owed 50 million shillings get the same chance to get their bills paid when you become the chief officer?
Thank you, honorable member, the chair. I think, as if approved by this House, once a supplementary budget is in place, the first priority will be pending bills, regardless of whose pending bill it is. And I think that is something I'll consider, whether you are a small farmer in Nyandarua or whichever place. It's a first priority, as long as the pending bills is budgeted for. Thank you.
And you know, you are paying the company, you're not paying the person.
Yes, true.
So you might. Would you know if someone is a small farmer in the village or a big man in the city? Chair.
Maybe Honorable Juliet, as much as you wanted the nominee to address that, my insinuation is that 300,000 obviously should be associated with a small farmer or a small entrepreneur, whereas now the 50 million or 500 million, now yes, that is it. Yes, proceed.
I can proceed. There is a question by Honorable Kengori Etnad on whether I was interviewed by CPSB, County Public Service Board. Yes, I was. I might not recall the exact date, but the location was at the offices. And which law establishes the chief officer finance?
The offices at the Orkara town?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's where I was interviewed. I would say the County Governments Act establishes the whole structure of the county government, and also the Public Finance Management Act has some mention on the Chief Officer of Finance. Thank you. On There were several queries by Honorable Hende. What motivation I had to apply for the job? I would say I believe my experience and also the level of engagement I've had, I believed I was equal to the task. You also asked that, you also requested that I highlight areas that have had issues in finance. I would say the first one is the issue of pending bills. I would say that for me, having had managed the financial reporting, we account for pending bills, and it's actually very alarming. And also, having served in the departments, I've seen people come right in front of me, and I think that has been very emotional. I would say that issue is sorted once and for all. The other issue, of course, is revenue collection, how we sometimes miss our target in a very big margin. That automatically translates to not meeting some of our commitments. So those are the two main areas that I've had issues. On my relevance, the relevance of my degree, I would say if I had come with the scripts, you would see that some of the units we covered relates majorly on this. It's only that the concentration was on agriculture, that we had some units in agriculture, but it was majorly those financial management, econometrics, macroeconomics, the major, and they touched on areas. And I also believe that the CPA capped it all on this. So I believe my degree is relevant. You've also the Honorable Member asked on my role in FRU, financial reporting. It's true. I've headed the directorate for close to 3 years, and the issues raised by the Office of the Auditor General. But majorly they relate to issues that are not related to the basic calculations, and they are majorly with the departments. However, the Office of the Financial Reporting Unit is also the liaison office between the OAG and the county. And sometimes we do our very best to make sure that we provide all the documents and support issues raised by the Office of the Auditor General. You also asked, I hope the FRU is satisfactory, query on OAG. You've also asked on CAIP. I would report that it's true. I was appointed as a member of the task force of the committee, but we've not met. So I would regret that I have no any progress report on the same. There are queries by Honorable Juliana on financial regulation of 2015 that on issues to do with pending bills as a first charge, and I think it relates to the query on Honorable Through asked. And it's true, we do our best to make sure that we prioritize pending bills, especially during the supplementary budget. As required, we provide a payment plan to the controller of budget, and also during payment, we make sure as budgeted, we clear them as soon as possible. I don't know whether I got your question right.
How do you intend to improve it if you get?
I think as Chief Finance, the most important thing is payment, and part of what we did as there's a task force appointed by Honorable Mary Waziri Finance on pending bills, and there was a complaint that even if a pending bill is budgeted, it was still a challenge to pay. So we decided that all the pending bills files will be domiciled in finance. At least with that, it will be easy to just retrieve. For instance, it would take some time getting the files from the department, and the same had been budgeted, and you will find that a pending bill would close a year, and the pending bill had not been paid. You asked for the file, it's not for the camera. So we asked for all the files, all the pending bills files are currently in finance, so that once it's budgeted, we pay them wholesomely as one bit, depending on the availability of funds.
So that does, you know, if something is a pending bill for like a year or two.
Kindly use the mic.
Sorry.
For the purpose of answer.
If something is a pending bill for a year or two, you expect that that is something that paperwork are already done,
Yes.
and they are, you know, ready somewhere.
Yes.
When it gets to the question of the file not being ready or not being available, you expect that that is a recent payment of works that are just completed, or so. You mean that you have challenges with filing, maybe trying to put paperwork together? Could that be one of the challenges in?
Not from us, but the finance is mostly the paying department. It helps the other departments pay. So in most cases, you would ask for the file from the department, and the same would not be forthcoming, despite the file being like 2 years or 3 years old. So we decided that all the files be domiciled in finance, so that you just pick the file from our archives and just process, instead of asking from the department.
Why do you think that has been the case?
Yeah, we've had cases. Once a pending bill is budgeted, it's 3 years old, you ask for the file.
Why do you think that has been a challenge? The filing?
From the department.
Yeah.
It's not the paperwork. You know, for finance to pay, for instance, there's a pending bill. I'll give an example, a road project that was done 3 years ago. The pending bills will, for instance, be budgeted at the roads department. So the supplementary budget is approved. You ask now for the file to pay, and that takes like even 2-3 weeks or 4. That has been a challenge. I think it's a decision we made that all the files now be in finance, because we'll just retrieve. Because the assumption is, like you're saying, the files should be complete. Yeah. Completion certificate.
Mohede, you have something else?
Maybe just
And before you proceed, I wish to inform the team that we have a new member, and kindly pass over the mic so that the member can introduce herself.
Asante sana mwenyekiti. Jina langu ni Catherine Nyolera. Mimi ni mwanachama wa hii kamati. Asante.
Very well. To bring you to speed, Honorable Catherine, we are doing the vetting exercise. We have just done with the structured questionnaire. We are now raising issues or queries arising from the same or any other question thereof. And I think in the process, as you catch up, equally you'll have an opportunity to have one or two. Yes, Mheshimiwa Mwende, you can proceed.
Thank you, Chair. No. Supposing Bonairungu, you are now confirmed. I want now to bring you to the reality. The last financial year, we budgeted for own source revenue. In the initial budget, we had put an approximation of 1.1 billion. I think it was 1 billion, the initial approximation for own source revenue. Then we did a review. We came to 800 million. By the time we did the supplementary budget, the expectations for own source revenue were at 700 million. The actual collection we recovered, we got in that year, 2023-2024, was 518 million, of which around 220 million was FIF. So now that you are coming here and you're saying pending bills are the real issue, where are we going now to get this money? The chair raised a very serious issue of where we give out contracts where we don't have budgetary support. Now we are already in a hole. What are you thinking around this thing? Now are we going to get this money? Are there any proposals you have given to the governor so that when you do your supplementary budget, you're going to do cuts across departments? What are you thinking around getting now the money to deal with these spending bills?
Very well. Can proceed to respond.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honourable Member. I think for the proposal to get the monies, you will also recall that there was a substantial amount of money that was deducted through the new CARA. So the budget will have some cuts. On how the proposals that you've made, it's true that we've recommended that departments provide some savings that we would ensure reallocation or the reduction of our expected OSR. However, we have also given through my waziri recommendations to make sure that there is proper enforcement. I believe we have so much monies outside here for us to pick, and I believe the issue of enforcement is a major challenge in revenue management. That the enforcement team and our revenue need to work together to ensure that we maximally collect whatever is owed to Nyandarua. I would also be, through the Department of Lands, we're pushing on the issue of valuation roll, land valuation roll. You would recall that we're losing a lot of money, especially through land owed to government institutions. I would also give, for instance, an example where I come from. It's just close to town, I think about 500 meters from town, my home area, and we pay 80 shillings per year. And we get the services we get, floodlights, the sewerage, we demand too much from county, but we pay just too little. So at least the push on the valuation roll will be a major thing for us, and also the aspect of enforcement of current revenues. Thank you.
Very well. I think for the interest of time, we are going on well, so that we can hear each and every member. Want to give this opportunity to member for the Nyandarua Central, Honorable Kod.
Thank you, Chair. Once again, I'm Kagwe from Nyandarua, member of this committee. First is to congratulate the nominee, Mr. Irungu.
Very well. Before we wind up, that is before I bring Honorable Catherine on board and myself, I do direct that if there might be any technical question from the support staff, let the question in 35, we be here at 10:40.
Venye ilikuwa imejaa, sijui hata na ile huko chini watu wameanza.
Yes, we can proceed. You are set. Very well. Then I wish to welcome Honorable Kate for any question, concern, clarification. Sergeant, kindly pass over the mic so that I may wait. We have less than 15 minutes because we have a similar session that is being undertaken by the House Business Committee. Let's proceed.
Asante mwenyekiti. Yangu tu ni swali ya kufuatilia kulingana na nakala ambazo hazijalipwa. Mweza kufahamisha hii kamati kwamba nakala zote ambazo zimepata idhini kutoka idara husika zitakuwa sasa ziko kwa idara ya fedha na uchumi, si ndio? Hiyo itakuwa imetatua shida ya hizo nakala kuwa katika idara hizo zingine.
Very well. I think sometimes Swahili can be a bit complicated, but in case of any clarification, feel free to request a further clarification from the member. Bwana Irungu, as a county we are having a very serious issue of our wage bill. We are way beyond what is provided by the law. We are past 35. I would wish to hear from you the intervention you may put in place so that to balance everything. Then, it's very unfortunate, bearing in mind that some of us, or some of the leaders, are working down the clock to make sure that our people get services. But during our first and the second cycle of our budget, we have always been ranked last. Now that begs the fundamental question of now the overall budget implementation. That ranges from timely procurement and timely payment of the pending bills. How do you intend to address that? Then, we are just some weeks to the first supplementary budget of this financial year. But just from the latest report from the Auditor General, it has been indicated that this county spent more than 500 million outside the supplementary budget. I would wish to hear you comment on the same and the remedy thereof so that the same cannot be repeated. And on the same, and that is why the chairperson budget was very categorical, that there is an indication there was avoiding of 91 million by the finance department, being the mother department. I equally would wish to hear from that. Lastly, or last but not the least, for the purposes of now being the mother department, where all the payments from the other departments are premised, in the last regime by the second former chief officer finance, the one Juvenalis Tiomo, members could be asked to verify before any payment, especially in terms of projects and programs in the wards, that a member could get a text message, both a text message and a WhatsApp text, that can you confirm whether this project was done to the satisfaction of your people and to the satisfaction of the oversight body. Now we could respond yes or no. It made the work so easy, and equally made sure that oversight was exercised to the latter. What are your plans? Because we would wish the same to continue. And lastly, given the SWOT analysis, what are your strengths? And on the other hand, what are your weaknesses? So that at least we can know the caliber and the kind of the character we are having as the accounting officer of the mother department. You can respond to that.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, I'll start with there were several queries. I'll start with the one for Honorable Kagwe on how I intend to seal loopholes in own source revenue. And the first thing I'll do is to make sure the allowances for the officers who are doing the collections are paid promptly, just to make sure that there is no intention to sort themselves out with our collection. That is the first thing I'll do. The other thing I'll do is to make sure that the enforcement team and the revenue collectors work in tandem, so that at least there is checking of each other. The other point, there is usually a surveillance team. That there is a surveillance team that has been created by His Excellency the Governor to just promptly check on our revenue collection, visit cess points, abruptly stop our track and check whether they've complied and paid. And I think that will also put our collectors in check. We've also, through Honorable Mary, there is a circular that has been sent to the collectors to remind them of the repercussions of not remitting monies they've collected, or doing those other things, because they do it on her behalf. So it's just a reminder that there are repercussions if you don't remit money as required. So those are the major things that I'll do immediately to help seal loopholes on OSR. I believe the same question on...
Maybe before you continue, you mentioned that a circular that instructs the people who collect the revenue to submit it. Do you mean that the collection is still manual? That they collect and then they go and deposit in the bank, or how does it happen?
No, currently I think we're close to 90%. We're close to 90% electronic. But the circular from the CEC is to remind them. You see, we have small cases of fraud from such. You just stop a truck, you ask for the receipt, it's not available. The circular is to remind the collectors that they are liable in case such eventualities happen. It's not that they collect money and pocket. Under very rare circumstances should they even collect money through cash.
Still on that, Russia, still on that, I would like to understand, is this surveillance team on revenue collection, is it still under finance, or is another body that has been created? And also, can you try to elaborate whether is it in order for the enforcement team and the revenue collectors moving with one vehicle? Will it not create a conflict of interest?
Thank you, through the chair. The best working position for the two is for majorly the revenue collectors or the revenue department to give the issues of non-compliance to the enforcement team for the team to move on their own and enforce as instructed. And I think that is the best position. I believe in case there will be instances where they move together, but the best position for my understanding is that we give issues of non-compliance, they enforce. The issues of low absorption, I'll combine that with that issue raised by the chair. It's the same on what I will do on issues of low absorption. Maybe just to report to the chair is that if you check our last closing balances, besides the monies we did not receive, we actually had close to zero balance. So the issue of low absorption is mainly a cash flow issue. It's not majorly that we have a lot of money we've not spent. You remember last year we waited for the June allocation, exchequer allocation, and that did not materialize. So from my end, I would say, yeah, it is a cash flow issue that if it's sorted, it will really help us absorb. And maybe from my end, the key thing is and make sure that we have as much revenue collected and also push for, although that is also beyond us, on the exchequer release.
Very well, we have less than 8 minutes because we have a parallel session ongoing, bearing in mind that the House business will be vetting 3 nominees. So try to compress your response within the same time.
On maybe I will go to a question from Vice Chair Honorable Benson on chapter 6 on corruption cases. Of course, from my seat, there are files that we've said we will not pay out of our own observation, and we've advised the department. On the other query is procurement happening in June, is that it is against the law to actually commit government funds after 30th May, and actually that was raised by the Office of the Auditor General. However, in most cases that happens for new procurement that have been introduced during the supplementary budget. So again, it is something that I'll advise the departments to make sure that they adhere to that no further procurement after 30th May as per the PFM. On the status of the valuation role, I would say that I currently don't have a status, but I believe I have information that there is some valuers who are in place and they are almost done with the draft, but I'll confirm that. From Honorable Kate, files being in the Department of Finance rather than being in the mother department. From my experience, I've also been in the departments. It's usually a challenge. You'll find that at the close of the year, file was complete, but during payment, some few documents are missing, and we'll have to do the re-examination. So to sort that out, once we close a financial year, all those complete files will be in finance to make sure that such cases don't occur. And it's having served in the departments, we've seen them happen once in a while. You'd ask a file that you are very sure it was complete. Upon re-examination, there are some few missing documents, and we could not understand why. So we thought, being the department that is charged with payments, we'll make sure that once a file is complete, and maybe it had been presented to finance for payment, there's no need of us getting it back to the mother departments. On the issue raised by the chair on past 35 on 35% on our wage bill, I think for finance, it's a very complex issue, Chair, because we already have staff in place. The only thing is to advise the departments to also understand and minimize on new recruitments unless there's availability of funds. But from where we sit, there's nothing much as finance we can do on mid-bill, other than just advise that we pass threshold and departments need to either minimize or recruitments, or even check internally those who are qualified for the position they intend to fill. On the issue of 500 million spent outside supplementary budget, I think the query was on not supplementary budget, if I remember the query correctly. The issue was outside, it is called below the line items. There were issues, if you check maybe our payment details, you will find that there are issues charged. However, they were all in the budget. The only issue we spend outside the budget is the section 135 that is later presented to the Assembly for approval. But anything else was actually in the budget. I remember this query. I think the issue was when they checked the IFMI system, IFMI is the uploading of the main budget. However, while doing the requisitions, we normally attach the manual budget as we present to the COB. So I'll check further on this question of 500 million and maybe revert back. Voiding of 91 million from finance. Voiding is a module in IFMI system for transactions that do not go through the IFMIs. Maybe a transaction bounced in the bank, you will have to void and redo it again. Probably someone presented wrong accounts. You will have to cancel the transaction, but for you to cancel, you have to void. So it's a process, it's a module in IFMIs that requires for you to void. So, and we actually provided explanation for every transaction that was voided to the auditors. And some of the other voiding that happens is during the year, you'll have to cancel all those transactions that were in IB and were not paid. So it's a process, and we've given this list of 91 million, we can provide reasons for voiding. On this text message from CEO, former my friend Juvenalis, is that if approved by this House, I intend to do that, to make confirmations from the members.
Very well, lastly.
On the issue of the absorption,
Yes, I think for the interest of time, we have 2 minutes. For the interest of time, the report will be coming before this committee, and the other one before the budget committee. I think we will have an in-depth consultation with the department, and if you go through, I think you will be part and parcel of that. We may be having limited time today, but through examination of the report, we will be in a position to, yes. The last question was about the SWOT analysis. What are your strengths in a very general manner, and your weaknesses as you write up?
I think I would say in terms of the job I'm seeking to undertake, I would say I'm a very highly analytical person. I'm data analytics and problem solving. I would also say I'm a team player as part of my strength. My weakness, I would say, would be also a strength. I also get impatient sometimes. Maybe I'll improve on that. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you for that, Wanaidomu. And as I wind up, I wish to direct the Sergeant at Arms kindly hand over the original documents to the nominee, and he can confirm whether all the documents are there. You were to provide the primary school, that is ACP certificate. Will it be possible before the close of business today? The KCP certificate. Will it be possible today, or when do you intend to provide it?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's okay, and it is well noted. from here, Bwana Irungu, this committee will need to do a report, and the said report will be tabled before the House for either approval or disapproval. But what I want to assure you is that this committee will do justice to the report from the deliberations we had, from the scrutiny of document. I want to assure you that we will do justice to the report, and we wish you well. And with that, I just want to give you a minute, maybe for a parting shot, as I request Honorable Kate and Honorable Mohende to usher you and your team out, and they have to make sure that you have a cup of tea. So a minute for a parting shot as we wait up.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, honorable members. I want to thank you for this opportunity you've given me. The questions were very insightful. They will help me work much better. I also sincerely want to thank His Excellency the Governor for the opportunity to serve in the capacity for nominating me to be the Chief Finance. My family, my wife is here, for the support they've given me, and most importantly to God for the gift of life and health. I hope that I've provided all the necessary answers to the satisfactory, and thank you again. Thank you so much.
Very well. You can confirm whether all your documents are in order, and as you do that, I'm very delighted to see yourself being accompanied by your wife. Remember, besides every successful man, there is a woman, and that is the way to go. All the documents are in order.
It's there.
Very well. We wish you well, and if you get this opportunity, serve this county wholeheartedly. That is all what I can say for now. And with that, Mheshimiwa Muhindi and Mheshimiwa Kate, you can usher the family out. Sorry? Yes, and then after that, we want to have another meeting so that we can do the remaining bit as we now transit now to the House Business Committee.
Parliament for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters of the shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest is committed to our church. Amen. Thank you, honorable members. We are just about to start the vetting process of the CEC public service. Maybe at this juncture, I will ask the sergeant to usher in the candidate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are just about to begin the vetting process. I wish to inform the nominee that you are required under the law to appear before a committee of the county assembly which is now the House Business Committee, which you are appearing for approval hearing, otherwise referred to as vetting. And I assure you that the vetting process will be fair and in accordance with the law and parliamentary practices and procedures. So can you proceed and introduce yourself and present your original identification and original supporting document. Most welcome. Sergeant, you can assist in switching the microphone on.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Dr. Simon Wawero Kanyingi. I was born in Nyandarua, Creator World, a village called Karagoine, and attended Karagoine Primary School. And after that, I passed well and got admitted in Nyandarua High School. And after Nyandarua High School, I joined the University of Nairobi and enrolled for a bachelor degree in veterinary medicine, where I graduated in 1996. After my graduation, I joined private practice.
Maybe Dr. Kanyingi, to that point, that introduction is okay, so that we can you'll proceed with the rest under oath. So maybe the next step is that you'll be required to take an oath affirming the information to be presented to the committee, and the legal counsel shall administer the oath. We can have the legal counsel proceed.
Good morning. I will take an oath.
With the Bible in the right hand, and then you can take the oath. Using your right hand. The Bible in the right hand is like that. It's right there.
Okay, thank you.
It's right
I,
there.
Simon Wawero Kanyingi, do swear that the information that I shall give to this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Write my name. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, legal counsel, for leading us through that procedure. So maybe the next step, I request the honorable members of the committee and the committee secretariat to introduce themselves. While introducing yourself, remember to declare interest. We can start with the secretariat quickly.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Karaja Nisha, the committee clerk.
Joyce Gadura, secretary to the committee.
My name is Warodi Echege, part of the secretariat.
George Kamunya, part of the secretariat.
Kahinga John, legal counsel.
Peter Karano, part of the secretariat.
My name is Wanjohi Kakio, part of the secretariat.
Thank you. Maybe to this point, while still welcoming members of the public, who feel most welcome, we can proceed with honorable members.
Honorable Mwangi Nyaga, MCA Kaibaga, Majority Leader. Thank you and welcome.
Any interest, Majority?
I'm James Mogishoke, the Minority Leader representing Engineer. There is no specific peculiar interest apart from that Kanyeke is my friend. We worked with him on political front, and he was my senator designate. But it is not going to affect this vetting process.
My name is Honorable Mary Kabiru. I am the Majority Whip from Rurie Ward. I know Dr. Kanyinge. He vied for governor and I supported him. He vied for senator. We differentiated issues on political parties, but he is a very close friend of mine. For this particular issue, I have no interest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Emily Mondimena, representing Muungano. Also the Minority Whip. Chair, I declare no interest.
Thank you, Honorable Minority.
Chair, thank you. My name is Stephen Mureithi from Kara Ward. I would wish to say that Dr. Kanyinge is a personal friend. I've known him for a very long time, but that said and done, Chair, that will not interfere with the proceedings of the House. And Chair, I would also request, there's a funny noise that is coming from our system. Kindly, I would wish the same to be sorted.
Yes, ICT, kindly and urgently address the noise. I'm reliably informed that the same is being addressed, so in a while it will be off. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Doctor. Welcome to this session. I'm Honorable Sasha Wamai, the Deputy Minority Leader. And Chair, apart from the fact that we shared a party, he was my senator candidate. We come from the same constituency, Nyandarua, so he's a brother in that region. And he's a man, a friend I've known for some time, but that cannot influence the agenda we have today. All the best.
Thank you, Honorable Sasha.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Honorable Karo Jarara. I know Dr. Kanyinge, and I declare no interest. All the best.
Thank you, Honorable Jarara. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Kengori, or rather Honorable Kengori, representing North Kilango Ward, and I'm also the Chair, Public Service Administration and Devolution. I'm a co-opted member to this committee, House Business Committee. And Chair, I must confess that Dr. Kanyinge is my friend, but that does not negate for this purpose me to be here.
Thank you. Honorable Kengori, yes.
Chair, is Chege Gadhirimu, County Assembly Member for Geita, and the Deputy Speaker. I know Dr. Kanyinge. I knew him when he was coming to campaign for my competitor, who was my neighbor, and but that will not jeopardize the exercise as far as I am concerned, and I wish you well.
Thank you, Honorable Diaz. And my name is Honorable Shiro Iganjo. By the grace of God, I'm the Speaker, Nyandarua County Assembly. Now, Daktari, I kindly request you to go through the questionnaire, which you filled. But maybe before that, you remember I had disrupted your introduction by the virtue that you are not on oath.
maybe you can briefly finish the introduction on your part.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. As I had said before,
maybe you can adjust your microphone.
I'm good to go. Thank you, Chairman, and thanks, members. As I had said before, I'm Kanyinge, Simon Wawero Kanyinge, and I was born several decades ago in Nyandarua, a village called Karagoini. In fact, I was passing through my documents, Mr. Speaker, and I saw I was born in Nyandarua District Hospital. That was then Nyahururu. I attended Nyandarua High School, after Nyandarua High School, I joined the University of Nairobi for a bachelor degree in veterinary medicine, where I qualified in 1996 and started my life in the Juakari sector, where I have been all those years. Mr. Speaker, maybe you may allow me to state, because I think it's important, especially for somebody who has been self-employed. I think on the table I bring experiences in the public sector. I have competencies in
maybe Dr. Kanyinge. In regard to that, members will be asking you questions what you bring on the table. Okay. So what we needed for now was introduction.
Thank you.
So that now we can proceed.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you for the brief introduction. Maybe probably I kindly request you to briefly go through the questionnaire which you filled. Can take like 1 minute or thereabout as members take the plenary. Thank you. I now invite members who have any clarification to ask. Welcome, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Dr. Kanyinge, good morning. Welcome, and I wish you well from the onset. Just to clarify on the competencies, how many administrative units do we have in Nyandarua County, and what are the different levels of administration?
Administrative units, as in wards?
Yeah, to the best of your knowledge, that is included.
I think we have 5 sub-counties. We have got 25 wards as administrative units.
Mm-hmm. Well, who is your area of member? Who is your area member of county assembly?
My area member of county assembly is Honorable Milka Wanjiro Dirango. from Creator World.
Very well. Which devolved functions under the Constitution of Kenya 2010 will you be handling if successfully appointed as CEC?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, if I get favor with this committee as a CEC member for public service administration and devolution, I'll be would you please repeat the question?
My question is, which devolved functions, according to the Constitution of Kenya 2010, will you handle if appointed County Executive Committee member? Which devolved functions as provided?
Yeah, I get it now. I will be dealing with issues of service to efficiency of service to the public, and I also be dealing with matters to do with public engagement, public participation. Yeah.
Dr. Kanyingi, you understand that security is not part of the devolved functions. It is in that line that I was asking which devolved functions in the public service.
I get that. Honorable Gatrimo, I know issues to do with enforcement that is in the public that is in the public service docket, and issues to do with revenue collection, issues to do with administration, ward admins and sub-county admins. That is within our would be within my mandate if I'm successful.
Briefly explain the structure of county government and the roles of its two arms of government. First question is, which are the arms of the county government and how many are they?
The arms of the county government, we have the executive, and we have the legislature, that is the county assembly.
To whom shall you be accountable to, if appointed?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I will be, I think broadly speaking, I will be answerable to the people of Nyandarua County. I will be answerable to the appointing authority, the head of the executive, that is the governor of the county. And I believe I will also be accountable to the representative of the people, that is the county assembly of Nyandarua.
Thank you, Dr. Kanyingi. For now, those are the chair. Those are the questions I wanted clarification. I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I proceed to the members. Honorable Majority.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. Dr. Ali, I wish to understand what do you understand by devolution, and two, which aspects of devolution will you be responsible for? Two, I'm hoping you have noted that.
Yeah.
The other one, how do you intend as the CEC, how do you intend to address issues related to public service and human resources within the county?
Thank you, Honorable Mwangi Nyaga. I would say devolution. Devolution is I would say bringing power close to the people, but I would say devolution is a transfer, the transfer of resources, powers, and responsibilities from the national government to the county government. You ask what aspects of devolution. I will be dealing with matters to do with efficiency of service to the people of the county of Nyandarua, and also ensuring the services are quality. Thank you. Issues related to the public service. Honorable Mwangi Nyaga, I think the issue of public service is really encompasses the whole of the public service in the civil servants in Nyandarua County. And the issue that I would wish to deal with are issues of ensuring that our staff are really motivated. We also deal with matters to do with efficiency, ensuring that we have efficiency monitoring, the performance contracting. We would also endeavor to ensure that we have capacity building, regular trainings for our staff, which is very dear to the county of Nyandarua. We would also ensure there is promotion through merit, and that should be done regularly.
Thank you. Can I have the honorable minority?
Daktari, you are aware of the 70-30 rule as applied in the resource utilization in Kenya?
Yeah,
it stands for what?
Sorry?
The 70-30 rule on resource mobilization, resource usage in Kenya.
Thank you, Honorable Mwangi Gishuki of MCA Engineer World. 70-30, I think 30 stands for development budget, and 70 is recurrent.
You vied for governor in year 2017.
Yes, I did.
Did you take some bit of time, some bit of research to understand the number of civil servants within the county government of Nyandarua? Are you aware of the wage bill currently in Nyandarua, and does it meet the 70-30 threshold?
Thank you, Honorable Mwangi Gishuki. I have had an interest, and I'm I have a keen interest in devolution, and I am a firm believer in devolution. I think the number, you asked the number of civil servants in Nyandarua should be around 3,000. I may not have the exact figures. I'm sorry, but when it comes to the 70-30 rule, I've been made to understand that we have overshot that by a few percentages, and I think I know it's a matter of concern to the members, as the members of the public there expect service, expect development, and I believe something can be done about it.
I hear in your last question, you are in favor of promotions, which of course translates into more money being paid again against an already ballooned wage bill. What is this that you think you're going to do to ensure that our wage bill is within the prescribed limits without necessarily hurting the staffs that you have?
Thank you, Honorable Mwangi Gishuka. I mentioned about promotions, and the essence is we need a motivated civil service in the county, and they need to get, their rights. In addressing the issue of wage bill, my belief is sometimes we have very essential services that needs to be rendered. There can be exceptions. Sometimes you may find somebody who is giving a very important service retiring. I think we will need to recruit. I think recruitment completely on need basis. I think that can be done. The other thing is what you call staff establishment. You look at the organogram, you look at how many directors should we have, how many staff should we have in a certain department, so that we have remits. I have heard stories of a county where you find there are 20, 30 drivers that are idle. There are too many compared to the number of vehicles that they have, and I think we can rationalize appointments that we do to make sure that the wage bill does not get too bloated, affecting other service delivery.
The promotions against competencies, against favoritism, because so and so knows Dr. Kanyige, and he's just been employed, but he wants to go 2 grades upwards, and of course he's your friend, and you most likely share a cup of tea. How will you handle that part where we have quite a number of officers promoted not necessarily because of their qualification or competencies, and which has a serious effect on demoralization of the staff? What is this kind of an audit do you intend to do to ensure that the promotions within this county and the upward movement of our employees is based on merit and not favorism or the do you know somebody attitude?
Thank you, Honorable Mwangi Gishuki. I think it's a good question. It's a very good question. I strongly feel I'm strong in fairness and justice to all, and I feel you are working in a political environment, and there are always interests, there are always pressures. I think as a county, we can borrow a lot even from Public Service Commission, and ensure that people get promotions on merit, not by who they are or by who they know. I think it's something that we can inculcate, a culture we can inculcate in the county of Nyandarua, and Honorable Mwangi Gishuki, I stand to be counted on ensuring that promotions are done and completely done on merit.
Lastly, you have a very good culture of picking calls all the time. Sorry? You have a very good culture of picking calls all the time. And I am just wondering now if this House was to approve you, are you intending to keep that culture, or the big man syndrome is going to get in and it is no longer going to be easy to get you?
I think it's a good observation. I think no trappings can take over who I am, and I promise to always be available for members of the public, members of the county assembly. I promise to always be available when called upon. Thank you.
I'm okay, Chair.
Thank you.
About how we are going to deal with their issues when appointed.
Thank you, Honorable Ibrahim, the MCA for Murungaro Ward. I think on the matter of public participation, I think both. I think the spirit of our 2010 constitution is involvement of people in decision making. And I believe the whole essence of devolution was to make people make decisions for themselves. I've also observed sometimes when laws have been made in parliament and they have been rendered nugatory because of having not followed the due process where public participation is a requirement. So I'm sensitive to that aspect of public participation, and if I'm approved, is a tenet that I would ensure that that is followed, that it's pursued by reaching out. I know also there are situations where members of members of the public may not know what is happening. We are going to strengthen the ward admins, the sub-county admins, so that we are able to reach out to as many people as possible. And with the political goodwill, the county assembly members are the people that are in touch with the grassroots. So we'll ensure that we involve them in mobilizing on matters public participation. I think the other question was Nyandarua, how the members of the public will be able to reach out. We will endeavor to improve the systems that are available to make sure that that the members of the public are able to reach out to the county government of Nyandarua. I think we can be able to do that through having a call center, having mobile services, ensuring that we get feedback. We ensure that even at the ward, at the sub county, we have a desk where people can be able to raise their issues, and even in anonymous manner, we have a suggestion box within our county that they can be able to share information. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Certified.
Thank you, Chair. From the onset, I would wish, first of all, to seek some clarification from Daktari. Currently, the position that you are holding in our county, which position is that?
Through Mr. Speaker, I'm the chair of JM Hospital, and I intend to relinquish that position if I'm approved, or when I'm approved. Thank you.
Thank you. I think from the same, we've had one challenge. I want first of all to take you back to the same position in that where you've just mentioned. Do you have a working organogram in health department?
Through you, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Stephen, I am only the chair of JM Hospital. I have nothing to do with the health docket, but we have an organogram at JM Hospital. Thank you.
Thank you. The other question goes to something that will be touching the department that you'll be working in, if approved. And this is an issue that has been a thorn in our county. about on-source revenue. What will you do if approved to improve our on-source revenue in our county?
Thank you. Through the speaker, through our chairman, I know the issue of own source revenue is emotive. I do follow the media and communication out there. We have not done very well as a county in terms of own revenue. But I believe Nyandarua has the capacity, has the potential to raise revenue. But I do believe is really a very is an emotive issue. Is a sensitive issue. But I believe the political class has a very big role to play to ensure that our people see paying taxes as a responsibility, where you demand services because you are a taxpayer, where you demand services because, somebody says whoever pays the viper calls the shots. I think it's something that we can be able to talk to our people, but specifically to the issue of revenue correction, we will ensure that we put measures in place to so that services that are indicated to be charged for, like the construction. I don't know how well we are in charging for building plans. I don't know how well we are in charging for matatus, for parking lots in our towns. But these are some of the things that we intend to make sure that they are functional and they are working, so that we can also brag that we have our own revenue source as a county. Thank you.
Maybe on the same, I've seen in our county whereby we have the enforcement officer stationed at the same place with the cess collector. I don't know whether you'll still continue with the same, or there's any change that you'll bring towards the same.
Thank you. Is a great observation. In fact, the other day I was looking at I've been around Nyandarua all my life, and I look at the cess points. I see like those cess points are the same ones that used to be there when we had a county council. I drove the other day through Kinangop to a place called Marayusho and to Naivasha, that new road, and I could see trucks and trucks of ferrying potatoes and cabbages and whatever. And I thought, I think this place needs a barrier so that we can raise revenue as a county. I think it will be possible. It will be possible to put measures in place so that we are able to raise more revenue and ensure the revenue correction is automated. I don't know if I've answered your questions.
Not fully, because I really wanted you to deal with the issue of having an enforcement person at the same station with the revenue collector.
Okay. I have observed. Thank you for the question. I have observed counties where you have enforcement officers that are facilitated. They have maybe they have their vehicle, and maybe a week or even a month they are in a specific sub-county, ensuring that all the licenses have been paid. And I think it will be possible with your support to ensure that nobody is left behind in paying what is due to the county. I think we can be able to achieve that. I'm also willing to learn from members and from those who are already in the office on how well we can be able to streamline revenue correction, improve revenue correction, so that we are also in the league of those who are able to raise their own revenue. Their own revenue source is raised up. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's the point I wanted. The last one, our governor has what we call a change manifesto. how do you plan to implement or deliver the Governor's Manifesto in your role for public service administration and devolution?
I have the Governor's Manifesto in a soft copy, and I've been trying to go through it. And I was looking at matters public service, where he's what stands out. Actually, what stands out in the manifesto is actually the issue of public participation. I think he was very keen from the onset that public participation would be key. And we will also, with your support, ensure that our public service sticks to the code of ethics, so that we can grow together as a county.
Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Possession.
Thank you, Chair. Dr. Kanyingi, you know, I serve as the vice chairperson in the Public Service Committee, and we handle several issues pertaining our staff. And my question on that note would be, the first question, what will you do to address the welfare of staff in the county? This is probably in regards to pensions, in regards to insurance and medical covers, in regards to promotion and demotion. What do you intend to put in place? What measures to ensure that that runs smoothly and the welfare is catered for?
Thank you, Honorable Sacha. I think a very important question that addresses the issue of staff welfare. My take on the issue of staff welfare. As a people and as a county, the issue of promotion, we need to ensure that the staff is promoted on merit. That you don't literally have to push your papers so that promotion is done. We need to look at issues of mortgages, where you don't have to be earning so much to qualify for a mortgage, so that we carry everyone on board, the young, the lower cadre, and the big. I think that will be very important. We also need to make assessment as a people on credibility of insurance companies that we use for our medical staff, so that, for our staff, so that they get services that they have, that it's paid for. I think that would be very, very important to us. The other issue is we are also living in days where people need a lot of support, psychosocial support. We'll ensure that we revitalize what is available, especially as for counseling. I think it's something that can be addressed. But the other issue to do with staff welfare, I've been thinking of, I don't know if it's available, a welfare, where we can have account welfare, where maybe there is a retro deduction. There is a retro deduction in the payroll that can be put together, amalgamated, so that when somebody is bereaved, when somebody is wedding, something like that, the welfare can be able to support the fraternity.
All right, those are good insights on the same. But remember, there are some systemic challenges you will have to undergo when doing all this. But I know those are bridges we can cross when you get there. The good thing is that you have a good understanding on the same. My second question is on the enforcement of county legislation. You know that falls in your docket. What pieces of legislation do you believe need to be enforced? And first of all, can you name a few that we have passed as Nyandarua, a few legislations in Nyandarua County that need enforcement? The most vital.
The most vital?
Yeah.
Thank you. I may not have a very clear understanding, but I do know the law on alcohol, alcohol and bars. I think that one was passed. Is something that we can be able to enforce. I don't know. There's a law on parking spaces or designated parking spaces. I think the last time I checked, I think it was at the assembly. But if it's passed, we can work on we can work on that, and.
So maybe mind on the same. So the Nyandarua County Alcoholic and Drinks Control Act, that was 2019, and we passed an act that regulates the production, the sale, and the consumption of alcohol. But we have seen a return of the same because of certain court orders. You know, these laws are not agreeable to everybody. Now that it falls in your docket, what do you feel in your capacity, specifically on this alcoholic bill, you can do? What do you feel like you can do, or what measures can you put in place to ensure there is a bit of enforcement and you can intervene because people are calling out for the leadership to bring sanity to the issue of alcohol, of alcoholism and the sale and all that, yeah?
Thank you, Honorable Sacha. I know it's not easy balancing commercial interest and the interest of our people, but I think as a county government, we would work with enforcement office. Those people that are affected by alcohol, those who die consuming illicit brews and everything else, they're our brothers, they're our nephews, they're our nieces. And I think it's an issue that really needs to be addressed. I know you come around Wakongo, and every time you pass through our towns, you are able to see the menace that alcohol has caused, and we have. I think we have to put our foot down, and sometimes that actually at the source, because I feel when you go arresting those who are selling illicit alcohol. Then, other manufacturers, you still bring it. I think we need identities of those that are brewing alcohol, those who are selling alcohol to our county. I think it's something we can sit on. And I know you are a lawyer. It's something we can sit on and see how we are able to contain the alcohol menace. Even ensuring that anybody selling alcohol has to be licensed within the county. I don't know how legal that would be, but we can be guided.
All right, Chair, I think my questions are well answered. If you're successful in this process, we will work closely to ensure that some of these things we deal with head on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sasha. Yes, Honorable Jarrah.
Hello. Okay. Thank you, Chair, for giving me this opportunity. Daktari, I have two questions for you. Being a professional in the agriculture and livestock sector, what advice can you give to promote economic growth amongst the farmers in the county? The question number two is, Devolution in Kenya involves both the county and national government working together. How do you plan to ensure that resources are allocated effectively and there is good coordination between the two levels of government for better public service delivery? And how will you balance the county independence with the need of national support, especially when there is a political difference or change in rules? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Njarara. My first question, say, is professional in agricultural sector. How I ensure that that farmers get value for their sweat. Mr. Chairman, I am a farmer, and I know what we go through in accessing markets. Sometimes the brokers makes more money than the farmer herself or himself. I think it's an issue that we need to negotiate. Sometimes I've sat and I've thought we need to negotiate, like we are big producers of milk, maybe number 2 or number 3 as a county in the Republic. Some of these issues we can be able to negotiate on behalf of our farmers, on behalf of our cooperatives. I've also seen counties where people get, is it the bonus or is it GMR, guaranteed minimum return? I think it's something that we can be able to work on. I've looked at our markets. You know, anywhere you go, I go to Daragwa, I find the neighboring county, Laikipia, has a vibrant market than Daragwa, and the distance is just about 5 kilometers. Or thereabout. I think we also need to improve our markets so that even we can show up our revenue source. You go to a place like Mairoinya, where we don't have a very ordinary market. Then Nyahururu in Laikipia has a better market than ourselves, and it replicates. I think it is an issue that we can be able to address, where we can have wholesale markets. Chairman, I've always looked at something, and I believe it's something that this assembly can look at. You look at the number of vehicles that pass through flyover to Nairobi and to Nakuru, and there we have our market. I think we can be able to improve. We have plenty of land by the roadside, and we can actually make Nairobi come to Nyandarua through our market and improve our returns for our farmers. I am happy lately, the road networks have improved, so as a county we can be able to improve the returns on the investment. We need to get out where a farmer asks, what is the price for maize? Other than the farmer saying my maize is going for this amount of money, or how a buyer will ask. We want it to be the farmer's market, where a farmer can say my cabbages, my potatoes, a bag or a 90-kilo bag will be going for this amount of money, other than where the brokers dictate the price to our farmers. I know it's easier said, but I think it's something that we can be able to achieve together. I think that was the first question I have attempted to answer. The second question was how we intend to make devolution work. I think it will be possible to, Mr. Chairman, I hope how to make devolution work.
Or should I repeat the question?
Please, if you don't mind.
Okay. The question was, devolution in Kenya involve both the county and national government working together. How do you plan to ensure that resources are allocated effectively and there is good coordination between the two levels of government for better public service delivery? How will you balance the county independence with the need for national support, especially when there is a political difference or change in laws?
Thank you, Chair. I think I traveled through this country quite a bit, and the other day I was in Kisumu. I think since devolution, the county of Kisumu has been in the opposition, and you are able to see a wonderful development, the road network and everything shining. I think we will be able to balance our interest and vis-a-vis the national interest without bringing unnecessary conflict. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, we are democracy. We can take political positions, and I think our freedom is enshrined in the constitution. It's what diversity is really all about, and I think we can be able to achieve it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, maybe Honorable Kingori had made a request that you'll be asking a question.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, allow me to ask Dr. Kanyingi the question related to the department that you are going to head if approved by the zone of House concerning public administration, public service, and devolution. I'm aware you are conversant in the department. Squarely.
You know, learning it's continuous. I'm learning. I'm a quick learner, Honorable Ambogu. Yeah.
You are a quick learner. Thank you. Now, your department has two chief officers. That's the chief officer administration and the chief officer public service. At the same time, under the County Government Act, the head of the public service is county secretary, CS. And then we have another independent entity, that is Public Service Board, be given power by the Act, the County Government Acts, and other county laws, more particularly on issue to do with abolish and establishment of the office. Now my question is, as the head of the public administration, devolution, and the public service, how are you going to relate with that structure in the county government of Nyandarua? Owing to the fact that you are the one now going to sit at the cabinet level. The other question, ama niulize hiyo kwanza halafu nikuje kwa hiyo ingine.
Yeah, itakuwa vizuri.
Jibu kwanza hiyo.
Thank you for that question. I've been able to look at the role of city public service and the role of the county secretary and head of the public service. And from where I sit, I actually don't see conflict. I see synergies. I see areas where there can be collaboration in ensuring that there is regular engagement on the roles and responsibilities, so that we can be able to service delivery in the county of Nyandarua and do it in a harmonious manner.
Okay, I won't emphasize on the question, but umeipotelea sana. The other question is about the motivation of the public officers. You have attempted the question. There's somebody who asked you that question. I need you to come out clearly. How are you going to motivate the public officers in the entire county of Nyandarua? I just want to give you the hint that we have around 2,800 public officers, both PNP and in acting capacity and the rest. How are you going to motivate so that they'll be able now to give the public delivery service?
Thank you, Honorable Mbogo. I think I had answered, attempted to answer the question on motivation, but more specifically, I think we can ensure that the county public, the county civil servants are paid their salaries, their dues, their allowances on time. I think that would be very, very important. We would want them to be motivated. We also, I think, had also raised other issues of ensuring that that issues to do with medical insurance, issues to do with welfare, issues to do with their promotions are dealt with in timely manner. Justice delayed is justice denied. I think, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to motivate them by ensuring that their matters, their issues are addressed as soon as is practically possible. I know there could be challenges of funds, but I believe our engine that runs the county is our staff, and their welfare needs to be looked at keenly and in a timely manner. Thank you.
Maybe if you be approved by this honorable house, that could be the first question that will be raised by the committee of this honorable house related to that department of the Public Service Administration and Devolution. Maybe.
Through Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I think there are issues that we is the elephant in the room, and it's gonna be addressed, and we. If I find favor with this committee, I think is a matter that I will ensure that we have an answer to their welfare, and our staff are motivated. And if there are also issues of discipline and anything, I think matters needs to get expedited so that we run the county, the public service in a harmonious way. Thank you.
Yes, we've got a problem with this system. Yeah, Honorable Ngeshe.
Thank you, Chair. First is to introduce myself, Paul Gesha, member of County Assembly, representing great people for Kipipiri. And I was following the vetting process online, and I have been able to make it here. And I don't want to drag the committee back because we are almost there, because we also have other nominees. Mine is to shower accolade because at a personal level I know Dr. Kanyinge. He has been our chair in JM Hospital, whereby I'm the chair, and we have shared much even at that particular level of the budgeting process in JM and our facility. I have one request. If only you will manage to become the CCM Public Service Administration and Devolution, there is this wage bill. Talk of wage bill and the job rationalization. What am I saying? Let me cite an example that you will understand. At the JM hospital, you find that we hire security services from outside. This tells you that our wage bill will budge. Now that you will be sitting as a public service, CCM for public service, can't you see we chart a way such that we can have our reinforcement officers doing that particular task? Maybe they will only be accruing a little or small amount of allowance, unlike hiring a private security firm. Because what we want to do is that as a county, we want to generate a lot of revenue so that we can channel to other development program that our people use and minimize the cost of operation. So when you sit in that particular position, I'm very optimistic that I will see even in other department where we have these security services being offered from outside. They are there. Why am I saying this? Like now, if you go to Miharati, you'll find the enforcement officer there. They have turned to be, they just fill the matatu there. And they collect between 20 and 50 shillings a day. And this person accrues money. So that trade, I know I'm optimistic we will change it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ngeshe. I think it's something we can, we will definitely have a look at, and you keep engaging. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Maybe Mr. Kanyinge, what is your net worth?
My net worth, about 150 million.
In cash?
In property, fixed assets.
Who is your firing authority? Assuming you get that job and some institution want to fire you, which institution is that?
I think it's a good question. The firing authority is the county assembly.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
2017 you wanted to be?
I wanted to be a governor.
2013?
No, I wasn't
2022?
There. 2022, I contested for the Senate seat at the Jubilee ticket.
2027?
I think I have not thought about it.
And currently?
Currently, I'm in private life.
Yeah, I thought you said you are the chair JM.
You know, the responsibility of a chairman in a hospital is quite.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to ask is, have you settled? You appear to be there. Have you settled? Now, if you get a CC, tomorrow will you be looking for something different, maybe before the other day?
I want to work. I want to render service to the people of Nyandarua.
So now you are settled.
I think what I've learned is working for the county of Nyandarua, for the people of Nyandarua, and this gives me an opportunity to work.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you aware of other rule in relation to a salary of a government employee?
That rule?
Yeah. Is there any restriction pertaining the commitment of a salary of an employee? In terms of loans, what one is supposed to be left with?
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does the concept say?
I think it's like if you are serving in the public. I think the rule should be even if you borrow, you pay taxes, you must be left with a third of your salary to survive.
Perfect. That is the answer. So what happens if you have committed your salary and you are left with that? Then the government come up with a policy of house levy that will attack your that. How do you respond to that audit query that you have subjected your staff to more than that rule?
Because
you'll be audited by institutions. That's a question that has been posed to some of the leaders by the Senate, Auditor General, and what have you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think I'm an employer, and it's something we are grappling. We are struggling with, and at the end of this month we are expecting deductions and increment in the NSSF. So I think it's a countrywide cry, is a countrywide concern, and I hope someone can address it.
Yeah, it's a countrywide concern. Concern. That's why I'm asking, what is your solution? What solution can you give us? Because it's a countrywide concern, I get.
I think it's beyond me, because is a national cry. The levies, the levies have come up after people have committed their salaries. I think it will be stricter to the law. Maybe the deduction should be deferred for those that have gone, because it's the law that should be deferred for those that have gone beyond their third.
No, sure, that is the answer. It's not beyond you. It's a proposal for the amendment of the law.
Of the law.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm informed, Honorable Catherine, you have a question?
Asante mwenyekiti. Jina ni Catherine Nyawera, mjumbe mteule. Yangu sio labda swali, lakini kumpongeza tu Daktari Kanyinge kwa kuweza kuibuka mshindi kufika katika hili jumba na mbele ya hii kamati, na pia kukutakia lote la heri. Shukran.
Thank you.
Natumai swali niliyotaka kuuliza ameinakili kwa usawa. Asante.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members, for your time. I wish to appreciate the nominee for appearing before the committee and answering the questions fielded by the members. As I had earlier assured you, the committee and indeed the House shall fairly consider your question and provide the right verdict. Thank you very much. Kindly check that you have all your original documents. And maybe I now ask the leader of the majority party, the Honorable Mwangi Nyaga, to escort the nominee out of chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Daktari, thanks a lot for appearing before this committee. The communication will be made. Thank you. Feel much appreciated.